Welcome. Welcome to this week's BTO talk on digital leadership, digital transformation, and everything around AI and generative AI. My name is Michael Alf, back in Lisbon, and we are working together with companies directing and helping them through this jungle. And I'm here joined by my two founding partners. Over to you, Rob.
Yeah, Rob Thurner here in London, working with clients in Europe and a lot in the Middle East on their transformation journeys. And we're joined also by Markus. Over to you.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, Markus here, professor for marketing at the National University in Singapore, but clearly I am not in Singapore. We don't need that even in our air-conditioned rooms there. I am in Germany right now, and we will talk about a couple of news, not only from the tech side, but also from what you can expect from us in the next year. Starting with tech, over to you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, most important, if you have questions, either ask them in the LinkedIn Live, just make comments, we'll see that, or join the WhatsApp group, the QR code on the top left, I think, above Markus' head. He's pointing there. Wonderful, thank you very much. And it's interesting, actually, the three of us are very close now virtually, and even closer, but we come back to that, last weekend with big things coming. And big things are coming in the technology world as well. And we can't stop updating. You see, you feel the race of the big players around the world regarding who has the most powerful, the best LLM. And you remember OpenAI came out with 5.1 not too long ago. Then we have Gemini 3 and all the others. There's a lot of movement there. And OpenAI just released 5.2. This does not sound a big step, but kind of sometimes the small steps are the big steps, aren't they? And in this case, it seems to be the case. So first benchmark reports are pretty impressive. They are putting 5.2 ahead of Gemini 3, for example, and it reflects the competition. The question is it worth it? Is a completely different question, because clearly OpenAI's strategy is much more B2C, for the end user with almost 1 billion users every day, where Gemini and Anthropic are more going to the B2B path, and they have really high quality models. So it isn't about saying this model is the best. I think that's impossible, depending, and we're talking about B2B kind of use cases and AI workflows and agentic systems. It depends, and it is a matter of actually exploring what works best, what's the cost ratio, and things like that. But most importantly, try it out, try 5.2, see how it works for you, and see what more it can do for you. That's the tech news. I think that's enough for today. Handing over to Rob.
Yes, thanks, Michael. And it's great to see you guys on screen. I have to say, a rather unusual but a hugely productive few days we had together in Germany last week. And for all of you working remotely and working with different teams and partners in different markets, you'll be familiar with the huge difference we get face to face. So we came together, the reason was to compare notes, be working with clients on different projects and different challenges in different markets. And we came together to bring our experiences together and to plan for what next year will be a very significant advance for us beyond the obvious. And we have a huge amount to share with you. So in a nutshell, we came together to formulate our thinking around the priorities for clients of all sizes next year. And our focus, Markus, you're going to build on this in just one moment. Our focus was around what are the biggest challenges that we're hearing from the market, and how can we help you with a framework which will accelerate your GenAI adoption, not on the tech side, of course, that's important, but critically in terms of your organizational capability, your own ability to keep up to speed and stay ahead, and building an operating system for your organization, which will make sure that you're fit for GenAI and you're realizing your competitive advantage against your others in your market. So this was a hugely productive session, multimedia, multifaceted. We've got a lot of work that we'll be developing over the next few weeks. And Markus, let me hand over to you to reveal some, but not all of where we got last week.
Ooh, here comes the cliffhanger now. Yes, indeed, we spent 3.5 days together, and I think the only thing we did, we slept in between, but we ate together, we discussed together, and we even went to a football club pub together. But that is maybe a secret for which stays a secret. Going back to the structure we talked about this, we spent the last 2 years or so helping leaders in this world to get their head around what is AI, Gen AI, how does it impact my organization, regardless of whether it's in non-for-profit, whether it is public sector or private sector. All sizes of organizations from very small to multinationals. So we start our thinking for next year with what does it mean for me as a leader? And unlike many other writers and publishers, we don't think about you as a leader leading AI, because that is basically all about technology. We are thinking about you leading in an era of AI. And that combines the human aspect with the technology aspect. And that is why we want to stand out and we bring that into our seminars. The second part is really then the technology part, and I will hand over to Michael in a moment, not to give you the depth of it, but how much technology will we actually cover in our upcoming book, which will be launched in Q1 2026. And the third part is, as Rob just mentioned, the implementation. How do I actually do that? And we developed a model for you. A model how any organization of any size and any kind can implement AI and Gen AI with the human aspect in mind. Very exciting model. I will not mention the name because my colleagues will laugh out loud if I say the name now, but it is very exciting. We will launch this in Q1 next year. It will become the backbone of our company and our products and services. And with this, handing over to Michael, how much technology will we cover in a book, and how much technology should actually be covered in a leadership book?
That is great questions, and we are indeed very excited about what is coming and to share more and get your input and feedback. On the technology side, I mean, one of the things which is very clear out of also the work by the World Economic Forum is the duality of skill sets. So every leader needs both AI technology skills on a higher level than ever before, and soft skills. Resilience, creativity, and so on, and a few others. So you have that duality. So therefore, we can't do a book with no technology or no AI, but it is deliberately a leadership book. It's more a management book, which of course lays the foundation around AI and what you need to understand to lead AI and not lead with AI. So there is a little bit of technology in there. Are we talking about tokens and things like that and transformers? No, we're not doing that. We put that into a business context. But of course, it's such a unique technology, with so much impact that every leader needs to actually understand the fundamentals. So we keep that on the right level. Don't worry, it will be easy to read. And we are pretty convinced you'll enjoy that and take a lot out of that, which you can take then back into your organization. Rob, any other kind of almost final comments? We wanted to keep that short for a reason I'll share in a second, but any other kind of closing thoughts on the workshop and the work we are doing now?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good summary, Michael, and being clear that the challenge is for leaders and how we work with AI. There's no blueprint. There's no one way to do this, but we've spent a lot of time consolidating our sharings, and we would love to share these with you. And importantly, we would love to get your input too. This isn't just us doing what we think is right. We need to be very responsive to what you need. And to that point, we will be having one last session this year to wrap up on 2025. Look forward to 2026, and we would love to get your input in that session and make sure that what we're doing is fully aligned with the needs of our users and those tuning into our sessions. So with that, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And thanks again, Michael and Markus. It was great spending some time with you over the last few days, and I'm personally very much looking forward to building on these ideas in Q1 next year, leading into the rest of our partnership together. So with that, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. See you before the end of the year. Bye.
Rob,